Welcome to another Cart Rides with Micah, New Zealand edition. I am here at Hamilton Golf Club with Craig Young, the Assistant Golf Course Superintendent.
Yeah, welcome to a sunny Hamilton Golf Club, Micah.
I am happy to be here. Shall we go have a look around?
Yep, let's take a walk and have a look at the surfaces.
Thank you. Let's go. 4 staff, 5 staff? How many people work here?
We're 4 at the minute, but hopefully we'll go to 5, which includes a superintendent. I've worked on big staffs before, and I think on the smaller staff you get a good appreciation and a good chance to do all kinds of jobs. I'm not just sat on a sprayer all day every day. I'm out there.
Now, if you are sat on a sprayer, are you listening to Joe Galati, or who are you listening to?
Or either yourself or Joe. I find podcasts just a really good way to learn and to be introduced to new ideas. Essentially that's how I got onto your MLSN stuff and the clipping volumes and that kind of thing. It's rather than just listening to music and losing myself in my own thoughts, I use that time to be as productive as I can.
Do some of the other staff listen to podcasts while they're working also?
I think, Grant's an avid listener as well. He's a superintendent. The other 2 guys I think they just listen to music really.
They're more normal.
Yeah, they're not as turf nerdy as we are. But no, it's good. I think it's, I'll put a podcast on, and especially I quite like Joe's long format, because all of a sudden an hour and a half's gone past, and you're halfway through mowing the greens. It just passes the time, and like I said, just introduces to new ideas, new thought processes, and I think it's quite important in this job to be pretty open-minded to alternate type of ways of doing things, rather than just following the sort of traditional textbooks that we were all taught about through college.
So this green had a bunker taken out. So
Yes.
What were you calling it? Renovation project?
Yes, redevelopment.
Redevelopment.
Yep.
So that one's had a bunker taken out. It's now a grassy swale.
Yes.
And these greens are colonial bentgrass?
Yes.
Or
Yep.
Browntop bent,
Browntop,
it's
yep.
called here.
Agrostis capillaris, I think.
Could you hit a putt and let me see how it rolls?
Yeah.
Do you know what treatment the greens got this morning? Would they have gotten a mow or a roll? Or
I think they got I don't think they got a mow, because we had a frost delay.
yeah, so probably nothing.
So by the time the frost lift, we just don't have time to mow the greens. These greens haven't had anything done to them since Wednesday.
And it's Saturday.
And so we just knocked the dew off. We used a dew rope and knocked the dew off in the morning. Wednesday we mowed and we measure our clippings, and that was 4 days growth. We got 1.75 litres, so that's around about, what's that, 0.4 a day roughly, which is
And that's per 100 square meters? Is that the units you're using?
that was 1.7 off our 8th green. Now I think it's around about, I don't know the exact size. He put me on the spot.
That's all right.
You would have to consult Grant's Excel spreadsheet for that one.
Okay.
But yeah, so for our 8th green, that's pretty low growth rate.
And I don't see a lot of POA here. What's the magic to that?
Yes, so that was basically when Grant Saunders, who's a superintendent here, when he came, the greens had a lot of POA in them, and one of his first projects here was to reintroduce a pure Browntop surface. His first plan of attack was to just starve the poor out. So, we turned the water off, knocked all the fertility inputs down, and just sort of, he's liaised with you and worked with you, and just created a growing medium that's beneficial for the Browntop, and the poa just didn't like it. So it's, I think there was a period, because he went so harsh at it, the green surfaces weren't too great, but the result of it is what we've got now, and it's a pretty solid, resilient, low input surface that a lot of golfers really enjoy putting on.
Saturday afternoon, busy. We struggle to find a spot to record our video.
Yes.
I don't see coring holes on the greens. Do you know the last time these greens have been cored?
Oh, I've been here 3 years and we've not cored. I think maybe 5 years, 5-6 years ago.
And do you think that has anything to do with the bentgrass dominance here rather than poa?
Oh, without a doubt. And I think it's the philosophies we take to control our organic matter levels through inputs, and we sand according to the growth we get off, and just very mindful, and we use the data to keep a track of that kind of thing, and our organic matter levels have stayed pretty stationary for the last 4 or 5 years.
Even with minimal amounts of sand, how often would you top dress?
We try to go probably 5-6 weeks, and then we'll just alter the amount that we put out based on the amount of growth we get in at that period, or what the growth potential might sort of show. It's something we're looking to dial in even more through better calibrations, rather than just saying, oh, we used 12 hoppers today. We're looking at ways we could possibly measure the exact amount of sand we use, maybe by measuring the volume of the bucket that we use to load up the hopper, and rather than go on bucket volumes rather than the amount of hoppers. So it's, we're looking to dial that in a little bit more.
You mentioned the clipping volume and the measuring the sand amount and growth potential and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you spend a lot of time working on this, or does it just become part of the work?
No, I think, I was quite lucky that I came here knowing that Grant has done this type of work for a number of years, so I've kind of cheated the system, and Grant's got everything running like clockwork. So it's, we use apps on our phone to enter the data, and it goes into the spreadsheet, and it's all kind of worked out for reference, really. I guess I could understand for someone who's totally new to it, it could be quite daunting to set that type of thing up. But on a day-to-day basis, it's we just mow the green, we measure the front left unit, we mow the same at the 8th green every morning, measure the front left unit, so Wednesday it was 1.7 litres, and then we'll just either send a message into our little group chat, say 1.7 litres, and then Grant will enter that into the spreadsheet. So yes, pretty much in terms of the clipping volume, it's as simple as that. Obviously we'll sit and look at the data every now and again and analyse it, but practically in terms of the day-to-day running, it doesn't really take up much time at all.
Do you have fairway irrigation?
We do. We have irrigation on the tees, greens and the fairways. One of the issues, or the problems here is the amount of water we're allowed to draw out of the river. The council have quite a strict policy on the numbers we're allowed. So the greens get the main priority, and the fairways, they get very minimal amounts of water, which is good for agronomic practices. but also a challenge because unfortunately we can't keep them perfectly green all year round. The club are going to go through an irrigation upgrade over the next 2 to 3 years, which will start off with an improvement on our control system, and then eventually all the hardware in the ground, so we'll be able to respace our sprinklers and create a nicer coverage, which will help massively on our greens and surrounds. We are looking to go to back-to-back heads so we can separate the water on the surrounds and on the greens.
What's with the ground under repair?
So I think it was about 5 years ago, the club embarked on a redevelopment project to transform all the bunkering and the green surrounds. So we're on to, they wanted to do it over 3 stages. Phase 1 and 2 were completed, so we're actually onto the final stage. So this here was a fairway bunker that's been filled in. We've got 2 gum trees at the other side of the fairway that are going to come out, and we're going to put another bunker in at the other side. And then you'll probably see, the greens in the distance. That's predominantly where bunkers have come out or been reshaped, and we're going for a grass swale look. A lot of it's just to still make it tricky for the lower handicap, but make it a lot more playable for the higher handicap. So rather than having to play out a pretty steep bunker, they can use their putter and put up onto the green more like a links style play. And also, to lower the amount of bunkers, because we've got such a small team, the maintenance of the bunkers is vastly reduced in terms of raking, weed eating, etc.
Any rabbits out here?
We get 1 or 2 rabbits. We get quite a few possums.
Ooh, do they live in the trees?
Yes, in the trees and in the center of the course. We have like a pile that we put all of our, tree branches that fall down, and unfortunately the downside of that is the possums sort of see it as a little home. So yeah, it's something we're going to look pretty soon into setting up some trapping program to keep on top of them. We've been so close to the river, we do get a few rats as well.
Norway rats? Brown rats?
Yes, yeah. So we've got quite good bird life, but it's always nice to get on top of the predators and help towards the New Zealand predator-free initiative as well.
Well, Craig, thank you so much for showing me around today. That is really interesting to see these grasses and to learn more about the maintenance here.
Yeah, and thank you for popping by. And I've personally, I've followed your work for quite a number of years, so it's really nice to meet you and pick your brain over certain things. And thank you very much for all the information that you put out for everybody to read and learn.
Well, it's my pleasure, and it's good to see such great results. Grant, if you're watching this, I wish you could have been here, but I am glad to know that you're doing such a good job and getting such good results. So yeah, I'll come back sometime and hope to see the bunker project and everything finished up and looking even better. All right, thanks a lot, Craig.
Thanks, man.